Welcome to the Pain Cave, to the Zwift dungeon, where I've been spending most of my time recently. I don't know when the last time I actually saw daylight was, but Zwift has been empowering me to emerge into the sunshine, a far more powerful cyclist than I was when I entered. Just a few days ago, I did a race up Alpe du Zwift, which is a recreation, a virtual recreation of Alpe d'Huez, 21 switchbacks, and I pushed a power of 350 watts for 40 minutes. So this was a live stream race, so everybody could see exactly what I was doing. Everybody saw my pain face broadcast live from the Zwift dungeon. Yeah, I pushed the best 20-minute power of 354 watts during that race, which at 67.5 kilograms, which is what I am now, it is a 4.95 watt per kilo FTP. 0.5 of a watt per kilo off of my goal of 5 watts per kilo, which is insane. I didn't think I would be able to get this far this quickly. You know, all I have to do now is drop some weight or push a little harder, or both. However, the real takeaway from the Alpe du Zwift race is the stuff I've been banging on about blood. This was the best demonstration possible of how my conditioning plus my blood meant that I could just keep pushing those same watts, that 350 watts, all day. As soon as my heart rate plateaued at 180, 3/4 of the way through the race, I knew that I could just keep doing this for... Alpe du Zwift wasn't long enough. Alpe du Zwift wasn't long enough. I needed a longer climb to demonstrate even further how blood just allows you to take your conditioning that you have now, push those same watts, but just for much longer. So my training at the moment, almost entirely within this dungeon, is 1 day on, 1 day off, where I'm doing 40-minute to 2-hour races, short, intense races on one day, and then the next day I'm doing whatever watts per kilo, maybe riding to the shops, going from A to B, recovering, so that then the next day I can hit it again. You know, these short, intense races are almost the ideal environment. This dungeon is the ideal environment for me to build my hematocrit. To increase my hematocrit, these are the perfect conditions. Short, intense interval sessions, being able to jump on the bike whenever I want, whatever the weather is outside. You know, there's no stress about it, I'm uninjured. It's just the perfect petri dish in which to build my blood in. So I'm going to continue this regime of short, intense efforts, 1 day on, 1 day off, around 6 to 8 hours a week, through into 2019, at least January, February. As a side note, in my training that I'm going to continue to do, I also want to learn how to sprint over 1,000 watts in Zwift, because the trainer setup I've got here in the dungeon, it's so hard to get over. I don't think I've ever hit over 1,000 watts. So that's going to be something, that's going to be a marker that I want to do on a live stream. In a sprint, in a race, I want to try and get above 1,000 watts, because at the moment I just don't seem to be able to. And I think my theory is that it is because I'm not spinning enough. I mean, I think generally it is harder on this static setup, this tax flux trainer that I've got attached to my bike. It's just a lot harder to shift the bike around to be able to push over 1,000 watts for me. But I definitely have that in my legs, and it's just finding the technique, and I think it's all about spinning up a lot more. You know, I've been sprinting in races at cadences that are way too low. So we need to, next race, we'll spin, see if we can adapt our technique to try and push over 1,000 watts. Because I know we've got it in our legs, we just have to, you know, articulate that. So that's about it for today. Stay tuned for the blood sport content, which is coming in January 2019. In the meantime, I'll be doing lots of live stream Zwift races and other content as well, recipe videos, things like that. And yeah, if I don't see you out on the road, I will see you in the next one. How do I get out of here?